I'm going to start off by asking you what's tougher, fighting WWE wrestlers or fighting zombies?
um, it's more physically demanding in the WWE. There's never, I've made no pretense about it. It's the hardest job I've ever had, and everything after that wasn't easy, but it made everything after that seem like it's it's something I can accomplish. If I could get through the WWE, I can really do anything. It really prepared me to conquer the world because it's not only such a physical grind, but it's an emotional grind. It's something that it requires 100% focus and attention and dedication. So that really prepared me for everything else that I've done after that. The WWE turned me into a man because it was something I'd never had that type of responsibility. I've never worked that hard in my life, and I will probably never ever work that hard again in my life. It was something that's it's day in, day out, week out, month after month, year after year, where you're just working and you're grinding and you're traveling and you're performing. And so there's never been anything as demanding as WWE. It is not an easy life. It's a hard life.
Do you bulk up any less for a film like Army of the Dead than you do for, let's say, an Avengers film in which you have to be shirtless
Yeah.
throughout the film?
The Marvel films are the only films that I really kind of changed my physical appearance for. And it really, like you said, is because I have to, I not only have to look the part of a superhero, but I also have to be shirtless. So there's a bit of pride and vanity where I don't want to look horrible while I'm walking around shirtless. I want to look good. I want to look like I'm in good shape. But I train in a certain way leading up to the Marvel stuff to look more muscular because I want to look like a superhero. And I'm naturally a large person, but when I start focusing on those type of roles, I start focusing on things that people see, which is, the shoulders and the chest and the arms and the muscles that, immediately pop out at you and which should, as, portraying a superhero. So yeah, I definitely train in a different way than I do, would normally train leading up for those films.
Okay, Dave, you've spoken about how important, becoming, training for your body has been in
Yeah.
your life,
Yeah.
especially when you were in your 70s
Yeah.
and, moved on to your 80s.
Yeah.
What would the Dave of today, if you had a word of advice to Dave when he was 17 years old, what advice would you give him?
Um, it's weird. When I was younger, when I was very young, I lived in a really awful atmosphere. When I was in my younger teens, I was okay. I was in the suburbs. As I got older, when I was 17, I was on my own when I was 17, and I was already fending for myself, trying to support myself, and living on my own, and working in nightclubs. And Washington, D.C., where I lived at the time, was just so bad and so violent. And it was like one of those things where you get used to violence so much that you don't even think much about it. But you also are not sure if you're going to make it home every night. And if I could go back and tell myself anything, it would probably be just that you're going to be okay, dude. You're going to make it out of this. Not that I feared for my life every night, but I just didn't know where my life was going, if it was going anywhere, and nor did I really care because I just thought that I had no future. This is all I knew. All I knew was poverty and violence, and that's all I was surrounded by, so it's all I knew, and I kind of got sucked up into it. And I wish I had had a mentor that said, you're going to be okay. This is not the route you want to go down, man. This is going to lead to just really bad things. And I probably still would have been stubborn enough where I would have had to discover that for myself. But man, I would like to have had that voice, somebody just there, just comforting me, saying, man, you're going to be okay. You're going to get out of this.
Thank you so much,
Yeah, man.
Dave, and all the best for Army of the Dead.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.